The job of dad seems to never end, so I am going to repair the Joy-Con rail on my son's Nintendo Switch. I've actually got some plastic repair to do there too, but the rail snapped off for one reason or another, and I've purchased a kit to be able to make that repair. So I've never pulled apart a Nintendo Switch, but I'm going to find that out and let you know how this goes. Hopefully I can do a step-by-step and show you the process that I used and if everything was in this kit that I needed to make this repair. The main thing was, yeah, if just the rail came off, I'd probably be okay, but there's a little ribbon cable here that broke as well. So this kit came with both rails in there and the tools and some screws to disassemble that and repair it. So I'm going to go step by step, hopefully, and show you how I did that and let you know if this kit was good for this repair. This is what came in the kit, so I'll show you kind of everything that was in that package that I opened up. But comes with a brush, a plastic, looks like kind of like a pick or pry tool, got flat end here, pointed end, and like a little bit of a notch right there. Looks like a guitar pick, but I think this is just to kind of separate the plastics. A microfiber cloth. The Joy-Con rails are in here with some screws. This is a nice hard piece of plastic. A metal screwdriver here, and actually it's rotating here at the back. This comes off. Came with 2 bits. You can put the bit you're not using in there, and you could put a bit in the front here. And then it came with a pair of metal tweezers. So that's everything that came in the kit. I'll have a link to that in the description. There's the part number if you'd like to pause, but I'll have a link for that in the description. All right, so first disassembly stage, the screwdriver has worked. This has 2 different bits. This one is kind of like a tri-screw rather than a cross screw. So that was that bit right here. And then this one looks like a normal Phillips bit, but definitely have had to use both of these. The tri-screws were in these 4 areas here, and then a normal Phillips screw was, if I can show you, I had to take this one out on this side rail. This rail's already off, and that's kind of how I could tell the case is attached underneath there. There is one here, so you got to take this little kickstand off. Don't let that one fool you. It is up underneath there, and that is the only one I found. If it's the normal screws, like a Phillips screw, that's the only one I found that is different right now. The 4 screws that hold this on are longer, and those are the tri-screw, or the tri-bit. You've got, let me see if that was it. You got 1 up here, and you've got 2 down here. So those were the regular screws, regular Phillips head screws. So right now I've gotten that part done, and I did pry the back of the case up, and it just kind of slides out like that. All right, now I've pulled there's 7 screws that hold this silver backing plate on, and they're silver. So the black screws I pulled out earlier from the case, I put in this little piece that they give you that was holding the rails in there. So I put those there, put the silver ones here on the table. And I recommend putting a cloth down like I did so these aren't rolling around. So you pull those 7 off. One thing I did use is this tool here to kind of pry up underneath here on this silver piece. And another thing, this is the SD card reader. It is plugged in, this little tiny plug here. So there's a little plug. Don't know if you could see that if you zoom in there, but it plugs in right there. And you just got to be careful when you put that back in. I did test it. You can kind of feel a positive feedback once you put that in. So then this silver piece comes off. There's some type of material here. I'm just going to turn this face up so this isn't getting all over everything. So right now, this is the rail that I need to replace, and I believe it's one of these plugs right here, and I'm only going to change this one rail. I've unpacked the rails. One thing to keep in mind, this is why if it was just the plastic that cracked there, I could have just glued that plastic back together, put the rail on. But this is the ribbon cable that I'm talking about. So if you can see that, ours got ripped right around this section here. So they're specific to the side too. So this shorter one goes on this side, and you can see the longer one here it goes on this side. You can see that cable right here where that ribbon cable is. So this is the only one I'm replacing though. One other thing I wanted to mention is this is a little bit of an older switch, not the OLED screen. So these rails are different for OLED screen. So you may want to double check which one that you're making a repair on. This is a non-OLED screen though. So mine, this is the kit that fits this specific Nintendo Switch. Okay, so on this step, I've put the new rail on. This was plugged in right here. And the copper pins, if I can show you on this one, it may be hard to show on this camera. The copper pins right here need to be facing down and going in like that. So if the copper pins are facing up, you're plugging it in the wrong way. The way that they had this in there too was the ribbon cable is coming out of the side and then it actually wraps under itself. So all the slack, I pushed it up under itself, and then you want to make sure you're free of this screw hole or even that screw hole, and flat, I would say, beside where the speaker is. So I've already done that. I found it easier for me to plug this in first, and then I tucked the cable right there, and then I just kind of pushed it with this plastic tool. Don't push too hard. You don't want to break the copper, but you're just kind of folding that down, and then you're looking to make sure your rail is flush with the bottom side there. So mine's good to go. And this is just kind of showing you the one I pulled out, if you can understand what I'm talking about. The way the cable's coming is it comes down and it comes over this rail and up, and then it makes this turn and then loops up. If you can see that on the camera, and then this is where it plugs in. Those are the copper pins I'm telling you have to be facing down. So if you're plugging that in, it should be going in like that. And then I just use this same plastic tool to kind of push that connector up to make sure it's fully seated in there. Okay, I've repeated or reversed the steps of putting the silver piece back on, and I put the 6 screws in, and this is the one that has the last screw, but you've got one there, one there, one here, there, and there. This is the screw that holds this SD card holder on. So there's the plug, and there's what you're trying to line up back in that plug. So you want to feel that positive feel, kind of pushing that back in there and making sure it lines up with that screw. So it's got a little piece of foam padding on it right here, and I've got mine back in place. So now I'm going to run that screw in, and then I should be able to put this back cover back on. Okay, so I've reassembled the side screws, the top screw here, and the one screw I had to pull out here. This screw is different from everything else. It's kind of got a bigger flat head on that one, but it is using the regular Phillips head screw bit that's in the kit. These 3 screws, there, and this one here are the same, but they're smaller than the ones in the side rail. So to get the back off, I only had to pull that one out of the center, and that's if your rail is in good shape and nothing's wrong there. I still haven't tightened this side yet because I've got some gluing to do on this side rail before, and I didn't want to glue that before installing the rail, only because afraid that something may get stuck and then I can't get the case apart. So I will proceed to that step. The screws that go in the 4 corners here, those are what that tri-bit that puts those in, and they're longer than everything else that you have. So again, try to keep that separate, and I'm fixing to run those in, and then I'll work on gluing the plastic back on this side rail here. All right, so I've got the rail completely on there now. I did put a few little dabs of super glue underneath that rail before I put it on. Hopefully I don't have to disassemble this again. But I did that just because I want to make sure this thing doesn't break off, and I did have some little issues where the screws went in that had kind of come loose. So you don't have to do that for yours if nothing broke on that side, but I did have to do that for this one. To show you that everything works, you'll see when you slide the Joy-Cons on, you'll get that screen kind of display like I just did right there, and you'll also get it to show up on the controller section to let you know that it is reading that the control is snapped on there. So That is the red one. Here's the blue one. This is the side that I had a problem with, was the right side, the blue Joy-Con. And you can see I've got that lit up, that it understands the control. It's attached to the console, and you can see that display right there on the screen when it snaps in and when it comes off. So the repair worked. All the parts in that kit were everything I needed to finalize this repair. I only did this one here on the right side. I did not do this one here on the left side, but it does have a rail for this left side if you're ever having to make that same repair as me. So hopefully this information was useful or helpful for you. And if it was, please subscribe and share. And that's to the point.